Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DCUO Online for another weapon overview. Today we're going to be looking at the dual wielding. Now dual wielding is a melee specific weapon. You're not going to really get any strong range coming from it. But dual wielding does have possibly the fastest block breaker with its ranged attack out of all the weapons, of all the weapon trees. So if it's not the fastest, it's definitely in the top tier. Whenever you have to break out to get back onto your feet and throw your weapon to do a ranged attack, it's definitely one of the fastest. I know I use it in PvP. It works sometimes. So I said sometimes. Excuse me. So let's take a look at our weapons. So first thing, we have the dual wield proficiency, which you will put 1 point into to allow you to use dual wield weapons. You will permanently gain 10 precision. Now the combos will give you Whirlwind Strike, which is an interrupt, but is also vulnerable to block. Whirlwind Strike is your lunge attack. So, and then Double Throw is your block breaker, but it's also vulnerable to interrupt, meaning Double Throw is your ranged attack. To do this, Whirlwind Strike you'll hold melee, and then for Double Throw you're going to hold range. Next in Tier 2 is Whirlwind Overstrike. So this is an interrupt, but it also is vulnerable to block. Once again, another lunge attack. To do this combo, you're going to tap melee and then hold melee, or you're going to tap melee twice and then hold melee. With this, you'll also gain +8 vitalization. Next in Tier 2 is Flying Spin Attack. To do this, now dual wielding also has a specific of lots of combos where it's a lot of tapping to get into some of those moves, which is basically from Flying Spin and the one down below. So for Flying Spin, to do this maneuver, you tap the melee button 10 times. In Tier 3, we have our range ability here, which to do it, you'll actually go into melee and to range. So it's a block breaker, but it's also vulnerable to interrupt. To do this, you're going to tap melee 9 times and then hold range once. It's going to take a lot of timing to get the 9 buttons down, but you can count to yourself into your head how many button clicks or controller, or how many times you hit the controller button in order to get to the combos. Just count to yourself. It's okay. I do all the time. Next in Tier 3 is Stunning Swipe. This is an interrupt, meaning another lunge. Sorry, to do you get +5 restoration in when you unlock this maneuver. Now to do this maneuver, you're going to tap melee 3 times and then hold melee, or you can tap melee 4 times, hold melee, or tap melee 5 times, hold melee. Different combinations, just if you have to just keep counting to yourself. Next in Tier 4 is Dual Fury. And you will get +15 might with this maneuver, and to do this you're going to tap melee 6 times and then hold melee, or tap melee 7 times, hold melee, or tap melee 8 times, hold melee. And then finally, in the last in the Tier 4 is Ultra Flurry, which is actually probably one of my favorites because you just spin around in a big old circle. I love it. So to do this maneuver, you're going to tap melee 9 times and then hold melee. Now again, this is going to take a lot of time for yourself, possibly to memorize the button combinations. You can also see the character do the combination animation movements for these combos. So if you want to either look to your character and memorize the animations, or just count to yourself as you're tapping the button, either way is going to work. Next, let's come down here into the weapon mastery tree. Now, in order to get weapon mastery, once again, you need to have 20 points in dual wielding. Once you get 20 points in dual wielding, you're going to have this open up for you where you can put a point in. This will unlock the dual wield mastery. And of course, it has its own requirements in order to open this. So you have to have dual wield weapon proficiency, Whirlwind Overstrike, and Stunning Swipe for this to pop up. And once it does, you'll have access to the weapon masteries from the other trees. Now, first one we have is Ground Pound Mastery, which requires dual wield mastery, Brawling Mastery, and the Ground Pound maneuver from the Brawling Tree. To do this combination, you're going to tap melee and then hold melee twice, or you're going to tap melee twice and then hold melee twice. Next is Launching Uppercut Mastery, which again requires Dual Wield Mastery and Brawling Mastery, and requires launching Uppercut from the Brawling weapon tree. To do this maneuver, lots of combos here, you're going to tap melee 3 times, hold melee twice, or tap melee 4 times, hold melee twice, or tap melee 5 times and then hold melee twice. The other maneuver for the ranged option is for bow. So this is Flurry Shot Mastery, which requires Dual Wield Mastery, Bow Mastery, and Flurry Shot from the bow tree. To do this maneuver, you're going to tap melee, or I'm sorry, you're going to tap range and then hold range. Next is Explosive Shot Mastery, which requires Dual Wield Mastery, Bow Mastery, and Explosive Shot from the bow tree. To do this combination, you just hold range twice. So that's it for the combo animations. Let's take a look and see what your stats are going to be coming from the innates. So the tier 1 innates here, you'll have, you get defense, critical healing chance, dominance / power hit crit, critical attack damage, and then for tier 2, we have health, we have power, vitalization, and might. And then finally for tier 3, in which, again, tier 3, the tier 3 innates, you do not need to have, you do not need to have Dual Wield Mastery. You do not need the Mastery in order for the tier 3 innates. All they require is 21 points in the Dual Wield tree. So as you can see, all I really had to do was put points in all of my weapon combos and then start putting points right here into my tier innates. So I was able to max out some and then partially get to 1 just to get 21 points in this tree to unlock my tier 3s. And my tier 3s are Health and Dominance, Restoration, Power and Vitalization, and Might and Precision. Now again, once you put a point in these in any of these innates, it's going to be 1 point for 25 and 25 for as my position as an example here. So you'll get 25-25. Another point will give you another 25-25, and then a third will give you the 25-25 finalized, meaning that as a total, you put 3 points in might and precision, you'll get plus 75 to might and plus 75 to precision. So multiplication. So that is the dual wielding tree. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and be sure to hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the next weapon.